One. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Industrial Amputation, where you can always expect the unexpected. Today, we have with us a Chicago-based artist to speak about his sophomore album, Eddie Direco, which is available now. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to Rev Billy of Evidence of Struggle. Thank you so much for being here.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. This is
Yeah, of
awesome.
course. So let's start. This album has a heavy emphasis on rebellion against mass media, government, the pharmaceutical industry, religion, and the banking system, just to name a few. Can you speak about these institutions and how they're used in tandem to create oppression?
No, I'm a musician.
That's
Oh, I can't. I can't. I'm trying to encourage other people to maybe look around and listen around a little bit. I think again, remember I said that there would be no issue in me sounding like an idiot with all of this, but as a musician, I just exist within this world and write about the things that I absorb and observe, I think.
yeah.
And I think if um, you're not feeling any of what you just mentioned, then,
You're probably dead.
or you are just one of the 1% of people that doesn't have to worry about that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I said, probably dead.
Mm.
It's
So, yeah,
dead on the inside. Yeah.
I think, we're all, I'm feeling it. Are you?
Oh, for sure. For sure. We were literally talking before you jumped on about just all the static that we're dealing with now. The world's been on fire for close to a decade now. My roommate and I were talking the other day about the pressure everybody's been under for so long, and it's not sustainable in any means. And it's good to have people like you putting out art that sort of helps you digest what's going on and keep your sanity and your wits about you. So, I prefer my music to have some sort of message in it typically. And not that I don't like jamming out to like what's his name, Zombie, Rob Zombie. It's just having the happy times. But I do like when my music has a message and some kind of consciousness to it, and some kind of conscience, for lack of a better statement. Yours does, and I dig that.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm just observing what's going on. And I don't think it's just a decade. I think it's been my lifetime. I'm an old
Well,
man. So
yeah.
I am, you know, 56. I've been doing this for a while. So I
Great.
grew up watching, Watergate because my parents had it on
Mhm.
TV. So I cut my teeth on that shit.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, me
do
too.
I need to watch my language on here?
No,
Because
no,
I do
no.
talk like a sailor.
Fuck it.
Um, okay. Thank you. Um, it'll be all right.
It'll
Um,
be okay. Yes, it will.
so, cut my teeth on that, and then you get Ford in, and then the banter about Jimmy Carter. This bullshit's been going on
Oh, it has.
since I was a fucking child.
Yeah.
And it is relentless. The
Hmm.
chatter, the static.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
No.
Remember I was in fifth grade, and like, I had these, diametrically opposed things. My father was military. I grew up in a military family,
Yeah, me too.
and Republican because the Republicans were the military. He was a flying
Hmm.
tiger, all this shit,
Yeah.
and quiet as fuck, so damaged,
Yeah.
and but so Republican.
Hmm.
And my sisters, it's the '70s, so everybody's smoking dope, fucking awesome Jesus freaking like all sorts of shit, and they're like the more democratic and independent. And so these two diametrically opposed viewpoints, and I really leaned into, the progressive ones, the ones that like
Hmm.
did have the love and all of that. So, because, regardless of whatever the images or the sound that I'm getting through, may portray, I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately to some people, I think my delivery is always meant to like encourage people to find that commonality, that
Yeah,
love within all of the fucking hatred, and
yeah.
maybe try and understand how they play into all of it. Maybe look in the fucking mirror, man. I mean,
Self-awareness is something the
because
world
it,
is sorely
you
lacking.
know,
It really is.
that's how is that so fucking difficult? That
Yeah,
somebody else should want some happiness
yeah.
and some security.
It's starting to feel like, I'm new to the neurodivergence thing, and by new to it, I mean I like you. I'm 57 and grew up in a military family. Like Christian military Southern Baptist kind of thing, and it shaped me in that a lot of the a lot of the dogma of that kind of experience was around people need to take care of themselves, but they also need to take care of each other. You're a compassionate person, this and that and the other. It was, the stuff that came from the religious side from my mom, the stuff that came from the integrity and military side from my dad, and then just seeing the way it was portrayed in the world didn't match what and then I find out, yes, I am very neurodivergent, and that's why I caught on to the fairness side of things very early on. And my counselor actually said, you've got an overdeveloped sense of fairness. So,
I
I mean,
don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't see how it is either,
So
but
fuck your counselor saying that.
yeah, no, she wasn't saying it as a bad thing. She was just pointing it
I know.
out.
I'm
She's like,
just
but
messing with you.
she also said you have to learn to practice radical acceptance. And I'm like, you mean giving up? That was that was my take on it. It's like, but yeah, it didn't feel like people were walking their talk. And so I also went towards the other side of the coin, and then found there that also people don't walk their talk. And so I'm left somewhere in the middle, just going, all you people just need to shut the fuck up and get along. And I mean, it's been very static. It's been very noisy in my head. So
Yeah, and I don't think you're the only one. I think it's
I
probably
know I'm
all
not.
of us
Yeah.
sitting here and probably all of us that are watching here. There's a lot of chatter.
Yeah.
And there always has been a lot of chatter.
Yeah.
That's all we know. Now we know more of it because social media has just
Yeah.
shrunken the world.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's made
Well,
our world so small,
yeah.
which is good and bad, I
Yeah,
think.
for
So
sure.
that's like, I hope I'm answering all the questions. I feel like I am in a very scattered, back to neurodivergent kind of way
Yeah. Yeah.
about
No,
it, but
that fits
I'll
in
go
very well with our
all over the
program. Yes.
place like a squirrel.
Yeah. It's like I don't have ducks in a row. I have squirrels and they're all on meth.
Mm.
Yeah. So we're all good.
So going into the writing of these albums and the subject matters that I brought up previously, now were you planning on addressing these, or did it just come about like organically when you started writing it?
Good question. I mean, I don't really, it's difficult for me to plan outside of just um, putting my nose down to it or putting my, nose to the grindstone or whatever my father would have said at the time.
Mm.
Um, I wake up every day. I feel like I have to give a background on this to, like, I used to work in bars and venues doing security, if you can believe it, given my stature. But I did it for a really long time.
Well,
And
just so you know,
oh,
you look massive on the screen. So I would have expected a bouncer.
I'm not. Um, but um, but
Yeah, I'm
did
5'8",
security.
man.
Yeah, like you got me by a year, I got you by an inch.
There you go.
Um, I I'm not a big guy, but I did like security. So it used to be a flip side. I used to get up in the afternoon and work till 4 a.m. because in Chicago, the bars are generally 4 a.m. bars, or you go to
Yeah.
work at a 4 a.m. bar, and you know, it gets real weird now. I've switched that schedule, so now I wake up when I used to come home,
Hmm.
and come into my studio because when we got originally when we were on some other labels really early on, with like RCA or BMG or Universal,
Yeah.
um, one of the A&R guys once was like, uh, "So are you invested in any studio stuff?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You should. It's a fickle business."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." And I just took that and started getting stuff and built what my new helper people like Chris Jalen is
Hmm.
helping mix some stuff and some other. I'm really fortunate to have some amazing people around me that said I did a good job. So I come down
Yeah.
back to the original question, squirrel energy. Um, I get started and I plan to come down to here and I've got, I can
There you
do
go.
any number of things that I have around me, and then I just see what path we start to go on. And then I feel like I used to get so pissed off when I would listen to musicians say like, "Yeah, man, I don't know, we just went into the studio and we started writing, and it just, man, it came.
Yeah.
Like it just like we wrote a whole record, like fucking Al Jurgensen.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, fuck you,
yeah,
man.
we wrote a whole record in 7 days."
Yeah.
And it's like, and it was great. And
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. But when you're younger and you hear that, you just don't get it until
Yeah.
you really get to a point where you have to, for a lot of other reasons in my life, I feel like I can't fuck around anymore.
Hmm.
So I'm feeling very pushed to like do a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I don't really plan it. It's just like I see what comes to me, and when I start to do a riff or a progression or something, I just like I try to open myself up to um, whatever is out there in
Yeah.
the ether to be, and then I just start writing it down,
Yeah.
you know, and then it works or it doesn't.
Fair enough. So as we go down deeper in this fucked up rabbit hole we're living in, has the initial theme, and this is, I should probably have prefaced this with, I am also a writer. Has the initial theme in the message evolved or perverted into something that you may or may not have predicted, just with the way
I,
the world is going? I mean, have you noticed going back and reading some of your lyrics, going, that seems to have an entirely different connotation now?
Now, it's real weird. I feel like I sound like I don't ever want to sound cocky or spooky
Yeah.
or mysterious or anything. Because I feel like really like listen to like the King Biscuit Flower Hour or whatever
Oh,
the shit
yeah.
would be on, whatever thing you're listening to them talk to these musicians, and they're all like, "Yeah, I don't know where it comes from." It just it's like, fuck you, dude. But like I think you get to a certain point where I feel like, as lame as cliche as it I now sound,
Yeah.
I kind of reverse engineer all its. I come in, I start, and I let it, whatever comes to me, come to me with no fucking preconceived ideas. And then, I mean, obviously, it's got to go through that filter,
Yeah.
like that reverse osmosis that is whatever, several stages of filtering that it goes through, going through my head, whatever is coming in. And then, yeah, I think I'll go and look back at it and go like, ah, fuck, this is some Nostradamus shit.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I noticed that about my writing too. I like it better from a distance typically, but I'm very stream of consciousness. Once it's out, I read it and it's like I'm hearing it for the first time when I read it. After I've written it, it's not really resonated too hard in my head while it's coming out. I have to go back and look at it afterwards.
Yeah,
So,
it's similar. Yeah, it's real
yeah.
similar. Like, I hope that did I
Yeah,
make the
no,
brief
it's
on that one?
yeah, no, I should say I've noticed that with some of the stuff I've written. It's like the world. I don't know that that was what was coming out of my head when I first wrote it, but holy shit, the world has wrapped itself around what I've written, and now it seems prophetic in a different way. Um, it's I don't know, just a little weird stuff in my head. So
Yeah, I mean, I think there are interesting things with perceptions and subjective and objective, and how
yeah,
those two become like fluid when you talk about music.
yeah,
Because like it starts one way and ends up a completely different
hmm,
one, and
yeah,
it depends on who's listening to it. And
yeah,
I love to hear what people think about the words,
yeah.
because most of the time it is not at all what resonated with me.
Yeah, no, it is fun hearing how something you've written has affected someone else.
Yeah, I love that. I
And
think it's great.
I have difficulty sometimes letting go of what it meant to me and allowing it to mean something different entirely to someone else. But that's been a fun thing that I've been learning to do over the last, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years or so, So that's
Yeah,
fun.
it's fun to hear. I really enjoy hearing
It's
what
like,
people
wow, I didn't even
say about it,
think
because
of
yeah,
that.
I'm never like, no, that's not it. I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like I just
Hmm.
like, wow, God, I'm brilliant.
Well, I'm
Wow.
not. I'm
You don't
just
get that?
not. No, no, no one's ever mistaken me for that.
Oh no, they haven't said that about me, but I'm like, that you pulled out of it, that means I'm
Oh,
amazing.
well, yeah, no, yeah. I just so no, it's not calculated. Like if I could,
Yeah.
I can't find my ass from my elbow most of the time. So
Yeah.
not that calculated.
So, with the fucked up rabbit hole we've found ourselves in, how has the music and art scene in Chicago been meeting the challenges of invasion by a hostile regime?
It's really interesting. I mean, I'm thinking back to like, the 90s when I was really down in it here, which is a really kind of like, I think, pivotal time with a bunch of bands
Hmm.
here, um, and all over, I think. I mean, there are always these separate groups of people that like, um, they're just separate cliques of music. The metal heads and the industrial people seem to be, I mean, I never thought that I fit in with them, but apparently they think that I fit in with them, and I'm great with that, because I mean,
Yeah.
any group of people that like you resonate with, I think is important. Back to the question, how is the Chicago music scene? I think it was quiet for a while, and now I think some of the younger acts and newer kids are coming out and starting to speak up, but I think it's just now starting.
Yeah. I have
Thoughts on
high
that?
hopes. Yeah. I have high
Because
hopes for the what comes out of Chicago in particular with the what's going on in the country. I really do. It's the artists and the musicians that are gonna get us through this shit, honestly.
yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I think where we've really gotten buggered is social media. Everybody wants to be somebody, so they're
Yeah.
trying to be that thing that resonates with them, which is usually like regurgitated, so fucking homogenized, just fucking garbage that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And it's like, outside of the rap scene here, which is like pretty amazing, there's some really good shit coming on.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna give a shout out to my friend Matt Skaggs. His son just got signed for a publishing thing, and it's
Oh, right
like
on.
with a rap guy. And I sound like such an old person, with a rap guy. And
He does that rapidy hip hop stuff. Yeah.
but I think a lot of like those, I think the punk scene in Chicago, and maybe somebody will see this and be like, no, you're wrong, man. There's a really vibrant punk scene in Chicago. I'm like, then speak the fuck up,
Yeah, there you go.
because I haven't fucking heard you, and I need to be hearing more of you, because I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'm not hearing enough shit that I need to be hearing, that I was hearing back in the fucking 80s. and
Yeah.
90s from people.
Yeah.
Like that would talk about the shit that was going on. Like when we were doing shit and Reagan was in office or either one of the fucking Bushes or
Yeah.
anybody. We've always been writing about this shit and then it just kind of dropped off and turned into shit pop music.
Yeah.
I do sound like the old man just shaking my hand at the
Goddamn
clouds.
clouds. Yeah.
Um,
No,
so I
that's a
mean,
really fair point.
I think
It
there's some
is.
really good acts. I think there's some people saying some things. Like I mean, but it's all people within this like this circle that I see, you know, and I don't and there need to be more, I think.
Yeah. Excellent.
Cool. So please tell us who you worked with on this record and what they added to make everything come together so seamlessly.
Well, I've been working with Sanford Parker um, for a long time, and since like the pandemic, we kind of met through again back to just a great group of friends that like you kind of maybe never know that you have until someone speaks up. So Mark Stranger from the Huntsman, I don't know if you guys know who they
Not
are. It's
familiar.
another Chicago band that is actually, also saying some stuff. Got me in touch with Sanford, who is now with Black Cross Hotel, um, and
That's a big
just
name.
works with other people like Pelican, High on
Mhm.
Fire, Sleep.
Yeah.
And we talked about the first record, which was the instrumental one, which was Evidence of a Struggle.
Yeah.
And then we just, for this one, Eddie Derico or Derecho, I say Eddie Derico. It just,
Yeah.
that sounds right to me, even though it is incorrect. I'm okay with that. Um, uh, so we did this one, and then I've been friends with Matt Walker for a long time. Sons of the Silent Age.
Yeah.
Some other people that he's played with. I think I am reluctant because I feel like I sound like a pricky name dropper, and I don't want to do that stuff. But
No,
Matt Walker.
you've got some really, really powerhouse people that are working with you. It is absolutely okay to bring those people up. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Walker, I'm really also fortunate to have known him for a long time. And we, have mutual friends like Greg Saran, who, is a phenomenal guitarist that plays with
Yeah.
like Lionel Richie now and does like some shit that people like American Idol. He's the guitarist on that and plays with
Wow.
so many other like amazing Sunny Day Real Estate. Um,
Wow.
does some amazing shit. He's not on the record. I wish he was. I love
Mm.
him. And then Solomon, Matt's brother, was doing some bass on it, and then Alan Berlant was also doing some stuff from Mavis Staples.
Yeah.
John Arrow's doing and is still doing, most of the artwork because something about his work and um, the animations that he does, I think, really
Yeah.
resonate with me. That rawness of that, I think. So I think that just like really, really continues to like encourage me. Cornelius Boone, I believe, is gonna start playing bass on this from he used to be in 13 MG.
Okay.
Um, another Chicago band from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um, and then he and I played in a band with Zemzem for a really short period of time from Marilyn Manson. When I talk about this, it sounds like I do have some shit going on. It's funny. Um,
You learn about yourself when you do these shows.
it's interesting. Yeah, it's been a wild ride so far. But yeah, I'm fortunate to have a lot of people who put up with my scattered nature and my
Yeah.
bullshit, I guess.
Well, speaking of the powerhouses, Sanford Parker worked with Voivod for crying out loud, and I
Who's
hate
that? Never heard
Levi.
of that band.
No.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
no.
he
I
was
mean,
on he
there's
was on
so many people
yeah.
that I don't really, I feel like I sound like a prick, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's important. He's good. Now he's doing a bunch of he was doing some soundtrack stuff, which is
Mhm.
really also amazing.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
And you mentioned Chris Jelen too, Trent Reznor and Tom Morello and Korn, RZA, crying out loud. He was handling post production.
Or
Sanford,
those are big deals, right?
yeah, Sanford recording, mixing, and final
Yeah.
production, and Chris Yellen on post production and mastering. Did now were you working directly with them, like in house? Did you learn any cool tricks or lessons that was
Yeah,
there anything
man,
you picked
all
up
the
from these
time.
guys?
Yeah, all the time I learn. It's amazing watching them because dude, I'm really I'm just a musician.
Yeah.
I play guitar and I try to sing. Like I got messed with about singing for a while, so that's kind of a relatively new thing. Is it
Okay.
singing? But like, yeah, I mean, I watch them editing stuff and going in and doing all the things that they do, and it's like fucking
Fucking
magic.
sorcery.
I mean, it is. It's like it's so insane to watch it. So then I get back here, and we kind of. I mean, you pick up stuff through osmosis, and then
Yeah.
Chris is really amazing because like with the stuff that he's doing with Jimmy Chamberlain or with the Pumpkins or anything right now,
Yeah.
we'll again, I have a lot of opportunity to be able to do remote things. So I'll just like text him and be like, I need you to beam in to this session. And so we can that's a kind of really cool, amazing thing now. So Chris can actually come into my session
Oh, that's
at my
awesome.
studio or go into Matt's session. I hope I can say this. I hope no, I don't piss anybody off. But he can like teleport into our sessions and like help us help us better do what we need to be doing. So it's just a
Wow,
better workflow and a little bit easier
that's fucking
way
awesome.
to get from point A to point B. And
Yeah.
again, it's a Chris with Opus is just like it's just an amazing opportunity, and it is not lost on me any second of this that like I'm really fortunate to have
Yeah.
the ability to even be in the orbit of any of you people around me,
Yeah.
including you guys. I mean, I
Oh,
really do
thank you,
mean
man.
that because I think
Yeah,
it's
it's reciprocal. Yeah, it really
Very much
is.
so.
Yeah.
dang.
So you have an intriguing video for the track "La Caution," well, which uses AI as an aesthetic. Why did you go this route, and how does it complement the song?
Oh, couple. I mean, I think there are a couple of different reasons that I went in that route, which interestingly enough, like I think helped me in other um, facets of writing things because it like I did Runway ML is what I was using for those videos, the AI generated videos, and there's something in like back to chatter. There's so much chatter about this
Yeah.
technology, and I think if you're scared of it, I think there's some validity to some of the people being scared, but honestly, some of the shit that I'm hearing coming out is garbage. I mean, it's homogenized, like you can tell it's AI. It's just,
Yeah.
and there are two artists now, I believe only two, there may be more by this week, because it is going super fast,
Mhm.
that are already in the Billboard Top 100
Yeah.
for that is like completely AI generated music, vocals, everything. So it's here. We're we're a little late to just be bitching about it because then if anyone wants to do a little reading project, read about the Luddites.
Yeah.
They didn't like weaving so much because it was gonna weaving like mechanical looms because it was gonna take away from artisanal
Yeah.
craftsmanship, which I get. I don't think we're gonna lose that with musicians or poets or artists or anything because I think now, and I think in the future too, for the discerning ear and eye and mind,
Yeah.
I think we will be able to tell the difference between that reality and altered reality
Yeah.
or engineered reality. Back to why I decided to do that. A lot of those things, I think, unless we can accept some of that technology and learn how to work with it or how to integrate it, because whether we like it or not, it's probably integrated into what we're doing right this second.
Hmm.
We don't even know it because it's already in too deep. So you're lost on that one. So I think, and this is just me, I'm not trying to press my agenda, I'm just saying why I'm doing it. I wanted to
Hmm.
get in and see what I could do with generative video, how my descriptions could, what they would make happen visually, how that would resonate. And so that one for Lakashin, that was the one you were asking about, yes?
Hmm.
That was like, I think over 500 separate generations, because each generation's a motherfucker. Like, you don't just go in and type a little bit of shit and it just makes a whole video. You type a little bit of shit and you have to be very descriptive down to what millimeter lens I'm using, what the lighting's going to be like, what the
Uh,
camera positioning is going to be like, what I'm going to be doing, how it's going to be shot, dynamic motion, all of these things that are going into it. And then I can generate a 10-second clip. I can expand that maybe up to 40 seconds, but it gets weird. Then I have to log everything into Final Cut Pro. And then I do all the editing myself in there because
yeah,
I enjoy that. That's fun for me.
that's
But the
awesome.
big crazy thing with going in, like really having that machine, AI, force me to really think about how my description of what my mind and my eye wanted to see was coming out visually, and how I had to refine that as I went, and how I had to become more focused and calculated about it is kind of made me become a little bit more focused and calculated about how I'm trying to describe the feelings that are coming into my head that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
And so I think it's making my writing better. Now, that's not saying that I'm using AI to make my writing better,
right. No,
because I
no, for
don't.
sure. Well, it's a
I'm
tool,
making
you know?
videos, writing stuff, and that's helping me dig deeper into my own head to make my own physical writing better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of look at it like, that first person doing cave paintings, right? You're using some charcoal from the fire, put stuff on the wall, and then somebody finds a berry and they're able to add color to it. It was that berry, the first AI,
Yeah.
and it's just another fucking tool we've got to put in our tool belt and use it to make something better.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. Some of my friends are vehemently opposed and disgusted that I do it.
yeah.
They're just like, well, and then the questions, just so many questions get posed. And it's like, all I can say is like, I mean, you got to trust you.
Yeah.
And
No,
if you,
I like your description of how you're using it. That seems like something very fun. I've been considering doing something like that too, just seeing if it, helps focus me in what I'm doing or not. I don't know. But
yeah, it's weird. I mean, it happened in a way that like I didn't really expect for it to happen,
hmm,
but it was kind of surprising and kind of cool, I think.
yeah.
So, tell us how your band came to fruition and the meaning behind the name.
Uh, well, we had the pandemic thing, and I was just doing everything. Like I played everything on that first record, like drums. I did most of like all of the rough mixing before Sanford got a hold of it, did all the engineering, and then I went to Hypercube, which is Sanford's studio, to do that one. Um, so it was difficult, and I still ham-fistedly, I will maintain that I'm a musician. When I'm not doing this, I cut hair.
Yeah.
I'm not like a computers person, or a Pro Tools person, or I use, Ableton and Logic here, and it's just like I have friends that are great at that. I am not one of those people.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really difficult. So there's something. that I really needed uh, from going into Hypercube and working with some other people. I'm not a drummer. I never have been. I mean, whenever we were doing sound checks, man, I would love to get on the drummer's kit and be like, "Can I do the sound check?" And get on and do the drums because guitarists always want to be drummers and vice versa, I think.
Yeah.
And so I'd get on. So I just like I'm maybe passable at drums enough that I could make a record with them and bass and piano and violin and the things that I also play on them passable. Master of all trades makes you master of none, maybe. So
There's
I
a
wanted to
word
go,
that master of all trades is better than not mastering anything. So
and so I wanted to go, you know, in and get some assistance with stuff to just free me out. And so that's what brought me to, and got me to talking to Matt Walker, who honestly, we've known each other for a long time, but I kind of expected Matt to be like, "Oh man, I'm just too busy," because of his shit with Chris and
yeah.
like the other guy. I just have a problem. Um, and and I think I didn't think that he would want to work with me, but he heard this stuff and did, and I was like, "Yeah, man, it's on." And and then I was like, "Well, if we're doing that, do you think your brother would want to play bass on stuff?" And it's just like, well, I don't know, he's busy with stuff, but I got this other guy, and then it just wound up being like this kind of cascade
Yeah.
of people, and I hope the next one, gets even more into like, because I mean, going back to the 70s and like being around music then and in the 80s, and probably, yeah, still in the 90s, I think something that's disappeared largely is that, like, kind of that atmosphere where you get a bunch of people to go into the studio and, like, do shit. I mean, if you look at, like, Harry Nilsson or, like, Can or
Oh
fucking
my God, yeah.
Hawkwind, or you get into any of these, like, man, they were, or
Parliament.
Ministry here, and you get into, like, Jello Biafra coming in to do, like, the
Yeah.
Palehead stuff, and then
Yeah.
Fugazi, you're getting Ian, and like
Yeah.
all these people collaborating on this shit. I mean, what the fuck happened to that stuff? And that's
Yeah.
kind of what I have this dream that that's going to be what's happening with the next record. So
Oh,
we're
I'm looking
talking
forward
about,
to that.
huh?
I'm looking forward to that.
So
That is,
yeah, I mean, I'm talking to Sanford. We're gonna try to get into. I mean, we're talking right now about how many days we're going to book at electrical and just go to electrical and just track just a few days and probably do a couple of things. I kind of want to do an acoustic thing because it's really challenging to find people that are already
yeah.
entangled in other bands, especially drummers, that are difficult. Like
Yeah.
any of the drummers that I know or am acquaintances with are just like Justin. How
Yeah.
many bands is he playing in now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Oh
so,
my
and
God,
Matt,
right?
and it's like Felix, like so many people doing so many things is difficult. So I'm gonna do an acoustic thing. I'm kind of
Yeah.
spinning away from your original question. I wanted to make a band because and get these people together because I thought it would make it easier for me to have a better record and maybe free me up to let me like use my gray matter a little differently
That's a
than
very
I
good
had been.
answer. And
And
the meaning behind the name
There,
feels obvious, but is it?
does it? Does it
Is
feel
it?
obvious to you,
I,
man?
I
Like as I said, I do hair, and I would show you. I wonder if I can show you this picture if it will show up. It's really funny, but I do things that like I think go over people's heads or between their legs. I'm not sure. Um,
I
what
used
it
to say
is,
that
but
all
like
the
I will
time.
I will do things and like I feel like people miss like back to the title. I am talking about the title. Let's see. Can
Yeah.
you guys see this at all?
Yeah, yeah, we can.
Oh, wow.
Can you see that it says fuck?
Oh my
No,
God, it
I
does.
didn't see it at first. It was subtle, honestly.
Okay.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
So,
Wow.
but the fuck is ice. And this is one of
Oh,
my
yes.
clients. It's one of my
So,
clients that said, I was like, what do you want to do? And they were like, can you make fuck ice? And I was like, yeah. Do you, are you opposed to having fuck on the back of your head? I don't think people will really be able to read it that well.
yeah,
But back to Eddie Derrico.
yeah,
Um, it's storms. An eddy's a whirlpool,
yeah,
or that water current,
yeah,
any current, which we're in the fucking middle of,
yeah,
and we have been for a long time. I think this cyclical thing that we're in is, I
yeah,
think it's millennia. I think it's
yeah,
not just, it's
yeah,
bigger than, because we're not fucking learning anything, but it's these cyclical things. And then a derecho or derecho
yeah,
is a straight line wind that produces
yeah,
tornadoes, two
yeah,
destructive forces.
yeah. And both cyclic. And an eddy turns into a whirlpool, and a whirlpool sucks you down. And yeah,
Mm.
no, that's fucking that's awesome. And that wasn't the part I was talking about actually. With it sounds obvious. I was talking about for evidence of a struggle. That seems like an obvious.
Oh, yeah, you guys asked about that, and I feel like I skirted that question. I
No,
didn't mean
no,
to do
no. But
that.
yeah. But the Eddie Doricho, that's fucking brilliant. Yeah, I
Oh,
dig.
thanks.
Yeah,
I think evidence of a struggle. It was when I was in art school. Yeah, I went to art school.
yeah,
Um, when, and one of
yeah,
my professors at the time said, with anything that's worth anything, you can tell there's been some evidence of a struggle.
yeah, yeah. It's the artists. When I was 5 years old, it hit me. I'm an artist, and of- I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing. Because that's that's an artist's life is pain and torment, kind of, and trying to work it out in your own medium. But yeah, yeah, evidence of a struggle for sure. So the artists, the people that feel get the bum into the stick, but they give everybody the beauty that they are able to get through the rest of their day with. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
The release before Eddie Direco is your self-titled debut. It's
Hmm.
completely instrumental aside from one track. What
Hmm.
was the motivation to create an album absent from vocals aside from one song?
The chatter that we keep talking about, I feel like, especially, man, I mean, and it's nothing compared to what it is now. Um, but I think there was so much chatter, I just didn't feel like I needed to add more chatter to it.
It's a
I
great,
didn't feel like I was able to say what I needed to say at the time with words. I mean, that's just how it is.
yeah,
And then I think keep it like kind of unwittingly, I kind of, that one just ended it,
yeah,
with, yeah, not intentional. I didn't feel like, I feel like the music did a better job of describing everything that was going on then. And it was interesting because we would get interviews and it kind of like, it would, ruffle my feathers a little bit because I would get, and I've talked with some of like Graham Coeth, who's really awesome from Analog Trash. I love him also as an interviewer. but he was for that first record was like, well, as a singer, I hear this music and I want to put lyrics to it, and
Mhm.
I was kind of like, why? I don't really put out stuff that is not, is unfinished. So, I mean, I guess I appreciate that, but it sounds to me like you think that it's unfinished because it doesn't have vocals on it. And to me, and Graham, I'm not, if you hear this, not this, I've said this to him, but it's like, I feel like if you can't dig deep enough to hear what those sounds are trying to say, to get you back to looking into yourself and looking into your own head, to go like, oh man, this is rolling. This feels
Mhm.
like this is, or this is tense. Like, what
Yeah.
is this tension? What am I feeling? What is
Yeah.
this? What is this ascension? What is this decline? What is this?
Yeah.
How is this feeling? Why do I need a fucking word to walk me through this shit?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, to take us back to something we were talking about earlier, though, it's sort of the difference between what we hear with our own music or art and what the listener or the viewer is seeing, and the kind of there's sometimes a huge disconnect in that, and
Sure.
so
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing. But just the first album, Evidence of a Struggle, the album is incredible from start to finish. One, moving
Thank you. I
smoothly from the
appreciate that. I do.
psychedelic, danceable magic of the opening track, Sal-e,
Hmm.
Sal-e,
Yeah.
um, to the more
It's about a
melancholy, huh?
yeah. It's about a friend who's a drag queen and another couple of friends that are also in that kind of that scene. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fucking track, and to the more melancholy and rock-based pieces, like Alan's song, and my favorite track from the release, Tensioned, with lots of guitar and synth-driven tracks throughout. The instruments ebb and flow very thoughtfully. The final track, Keep It, is a beautiful continuation of the mood, with the vocals slowly and quietly creeping in. It's a monotonal kind of feeling to that, and I was really captivated by it. It caps the whole trip, leaving a nice haunting feeling. Was this always going to be the final track, or did it just evolve that way?
I kind of evolved that way. I just like it just felt I felt like that one needed words to it.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
kind of the way with what you were saying with the it did the album feels complete as is with no vocals through any of those tracks and just creeping in at the end. It felt very perfect to me
thank
the
you.
way that
I
whole
appreciate
thing
that.
rode through. I listened to it a couple of times back to back, and yeah, but that song Tensioned, oh man, what a great fucking track. I mean,
Thank you. I
damn.
appreciate that. Like I'm always like when I listen to that stuff, I feel like I'm always second guessing what I played and like how it went.
I
But
have a little trouble with that myself. I've found over the years, I'm very good at putting words to music if the music isn't mine. Um, and I tend to be a good vocalist for other projects or for bands of my own if I'm not making the music. But when I'm making the music myself, maybe it's got something to do with my neurodivergency, but I even putting a track together, I have to really, really pull back because I want everything in the first track. And it's been a real labor to kind of step back and just put in a couple of sounds and build it layer by layer because it's all happening at the same time in my head. But then I get all the music in and I'm like, vocals, there's not really any need. This thing's packed. It's done. And where I would normally just hear the music because a lot of the vocals I've done in the limited amount of work I've done have usually been first take and only take kind of vocals. It's like the first time I'm hearing the music and I just lay it down right there. I don't know why, probably because when I grew up, one of the first things I asked my dad for when I was very little was a radio that I could play when I was sleeping. So I kind of subliminally trained myself with music as far as that goes. And I think that's why I'm good at putting words to music, if it's not my music. But for some reason, I have a real problem putting vocals down on my own work. So,
It's
but
all interesting, isn't it? It's
it
just like a
really
really
is.
interesting little journey that we're on as
Yeah.
artists, I think, all of us,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of
Do you have
crazy.
trouble like that with is that maybe one of the reasons that the first album is instrumental to the last track and then you got more
Oh,
comfortable using
absolutely. Yeah,
lyrics?
I mean that what you said resonates with me completely. Like I don't want to steal your thunder or anything, but
Oh,
like
no,
yeah,
no,
it
no,
gets
no. I'm just
really
like, please, please. I
it's
just,
another going back to the original question, Joey. I think um it's like that's also why I needed to get some other people piping in on this is to keep my neurosis from just making this wall of sound that is still like, I mean, it's real difficult for me not to do that.
yeah,
So I think as far as like the intentional things that I do now is like, I'll try and I have to, this gets really weird and this goes back to me sounding like one of those musicians. I'm really, I'm writing a lot of stuff right now because Um, and I'm not trying to sound cocky in saying this. I've got like probably there are 26 songs in a or 28 now or 27 that are in a full set for two new records that I'm going over every day now.
oh wow,
That's crazy time. Like I do this like I so I can work my voice out now because I want that to get better.
yeah,
But when I'm going in and demoing stuff now, I'm doing trying to minimize to like a synth, a vocal, which is now getting hard because I'm kind of having fun doing harmonies and shit. Now and but very much just getting shit as basic as I can for a demo and then just being done with that for a second and then rehearsing it on acoustic every day, like just running through them, which is really weird because I didn't grow up playing acoustic guitar. Like that was not my first instrument. My first instrument was a clarinet. And then second one was an electric guitar. So so getting into acoustics a little weird. So now I'm kind of going through and seeing how acoustic work is kind of, I feel like I'm spinning away from the question. Um, please refocus me on this.
Joey.
The
Yeah, I don't
videos
know.
the videos for this release are stunning. Tell us about the artist or artist involved with the who's responsible.
Yeah,
John Arrows, I mean, he's just amazing. He does sculptural 2D, 3D art um, in Chicago. He's just an amazing artist. We've known each other. We met because we both worked at a venue in Chicago called the Metro,
Hmm?
Cabaret Metro. Um, and we've just been friends forever. And because of that friendship, I think we also have some similar viewpoints, and I think that those kind of connected. And because we've been friends, I just could let him do whatever he wanted to do, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to, and I think that transfers to also the AI because I'm not always getting what I want out of the AI, and that's perfect because it's not it shouldn't be that way. We don't have kings. We don't have, oh yeah, I'm getting that fucking dig in.
yeah,
Um, but we shouldn't like it's not just about me. It's about like all the separate parts of this like shared communal kind of thing that is music
Yeah.
and that is a cacophony of this life that we've got, which I think is really cool.
Cool. Can you tell us more about Rev Billy's Chop Shop?
Yeah, it's it's my hair salon. Uh, yeah, I love it. It's great. It's my wife and I own it. Um, we're in the Lincoln Square neighborhood. We started. I mean, when I first moved to Chicago back in the early '90s, mid '90s, I went to work at a place called Big Hair, and I was playing in bands. I was playing in a Chicago band called Specula, and they had some just meeting people. But I got this job at a salon called Big Hair, and guys from the Jesus Lizard were coming in, and then
Fucking
I
awesome.
met Jim Kimball from them, and Dwayne and David, and so many bands would come in there because we had $8 haircuts,
Oh.
and we could drink beer and smoke in the salon. I didn't do any of that stuff, of course, because I'm a sage. Um, but if people would find the desire to do that, they could, and it was a pretty cool place to work and meet people. And then, I just kept going back to early on when we first, when I was writing music for a signed artist and had a publishing thing. Um, that person saying you need to do something because this business is fickle. I mean, how many people do we all know in bands that are like doing okay just in the band?
Yeah,
You know,
for
I
sure.
don't know about you, but I don't know very many that
It's
are
it's not a
doing.
lot. It's not a big
And
number.
yeah, and I got a bunch of friends in bands
Hmm.
that do other things.
Yeah.
But it's like it gets really weird too. Like Rev Billy's Chop Shop. Then years later, the owner of Big Hair's family asked us to take it over, and we did. And then that kind of propelled us to go and start up Rev Billy's Chop Shop because of a bad owner. And so we did that, and I think a lot of those same people followed us from the industry and music and everything. And so it's like a place where I think we get creative people around, and a
Yeah.
really accepting, inclusive kind of atmosphere that's super artistic. We're also a gallery. We rotate art
Well,
bi-monthly,
that's
so our
awesome.
walls are always changing. We're members of the Dress Code Project, so we're trying to, support our community and the LGBTQ plus I community, which is also neurodivergence and,
Mhm.
a lot of artists and musicians that are getting in there. So that's a hair salon, but for as far as like I love art that artistic pathway that I have, and I will don't ever want to give that up. And I love this one. These are the two artistic things that I do. And I don't consider either of them jobs,
Yeah.
but they do mutually benefit each other.
Yeah. Now, speaking as a one of the first round founders for the Museum of Post-Punk and Industrial Music, I know that Martin had one of his hairstylist friends that was doing stuff for him and did a couple of things at the shop. Was that you, or have you
Mm.
maybe thought about talking to Martin about something that you might be able to do at the museum to raise funds for that? And
I talk to Martin occasionally. I just saw him like a couple of weeks ago. We were at the Clan of Zymox show.
oh
He
wow,
always seems very busy.
yes, he is
But
definitely very busy.
so when I reach out to him, sometimes he's busy.
Yeah,
So, but I'll try and reach back out.
yeah, yeah. No, that'd
Or
be
he
awesome.
could reach
Yeah,
out to me too.
yeah, yeah. Martin, get on the
Yeah.
phone, man.
I
So,
like I
have
like
a
Martin a lot. I think he's a really he's a an amazing dude.
he
I
really
really
is.
dig him a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. He's a fucking sweetheart. My friend Amber Prince, just opened her salon out in Washington State, the Seattle outlining Seattle area, and she's also a brilliant hairstylist. So she was Alexi Vox for the band Go Like Hell, and so she's done my hair a couple of times. Is like I usually I'm very punk rock about my hair. When I do something to it, it's usually me doing something to it. It's bleaching it out or chopping it off and whatnot. But there's very few people I trust to mess with my hair, but she is definitely one of them. And maybe you guys could get together and do a thing. So
Yeah, that would be cool. I love
music,
collaborations
a
with stuff.
musical
We
collaboration between a couple of hairstylists, I think would be
Ah,
pretty
that would
awesome.
be fun. I'm down with that. Yeah, we
Yeah,
just had
me too.
a guy from Brazil come in to work as a guest artist in the salon, which is really awesome.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm
nice.
totally down with those collabs. But yeah, and also with Martin, I would love to do something for the museum if
Right on.
like he ever needs anything. I saw that post the other night.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's what I did back in the 90s was interior design for clubs and stuff. And I would fucking love to be out there right now, just get wrapped up in doing something like that. That would be fucking awesome. It's been so long since the smell of paint and sawdust and shit.
It's interesting in saying like that Martin is busy. Martin is not the only person that's busy. Because
No.
I mean, I'm like, dude, with the hair salon. Back to the question earlier, like
Mm.
I have clients booked into January right now. So I mean,
Wow.
my ability to get away is kind of interesting. And then the way that I've kind of designed my life right now is honestly avoidance of a lot of stuff. I work, I work doing this music,
Yeah.
and I work, doing that hair. Those
Yeah.
two things that I love, and I leave very little time um,
Well,
to
it's important to have
experience a
boundaries,
lot of the
right?
chatter.
Yeah. It's important to have boundaries, though, right? I mean, for self-preservation.
Yeah, that's what my shrink says.
Yeah, mine too. So,
Yeah.
so, Reverend Billy, may we expect to see you on the road anytime soon?
Man, I hope so, but like again, I think it might be an acoustic thing, which I don't know how that will travel
Huh.
with but I think it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
And not like a folky thing, but like I've been rehearsing a lot, and I think we're talking to distribution with Burnside Distribution, and then I'm on the Orchard now
Oh, right on.
with Burnside Distribution through Sony, I guess. Orchard is Sony or whatever.
Okay.
Um, and we were talking about like trying to do some living room shows
Oh, that would be
where I
fucking
just roll up
sweet.
with
Yeah.
an acoustic and plug my shit in and have my just vocals and acoustic and sing the songs that I've
Oh,
got.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
don't know. I'm
that'd
like
be
reluctant,
fascinating.
but yeah, fascinating is one
Yeah.
word that you could use for it, or like, I mean,
I'd
or
be
it could
totally
be,
down for that though. I mean that's awesome. I mean, I love the intimate setting stuff. Mark Walk, I was talking to him one time and he told me something very surprising about like the Ogre recordings, and
yeah.
he's like, Ogre's a guitarist, and and all of these songs start out as an acoustic guitar track, and I was just trying to wrap my head. I'm like, I want to fucking be there for just
Right?
Ogre with an acoustic guitar doing these songs just as the acoustic versions. That was so yeah, that stuff that's completely up my alley. I would love to sit down and be in a room with you doing that. Yeah.
That
And
gives me
fucking
some inspiration. I like hearing that because sometimes, you can get into these, and I don't, are we good on time? I don't know.
yeah, yeah, we're fine.
Um, if, I mean, I really thrive on feedback from people because I want to know if that sounds good or if people are just be like, oh, it's that weird dude. Now he's trying to do like fucking acoustic shit. Um, so I mean, I think it would be. I think it would be a blast. And I like the
Yeah.
idea of that intimacy too, because I think it could allow me to just, I'm not a big talker. Like, it's
Yeah.
weird. This is deceptive, I think, because I have to explain to people, like, when they'll come into the hair salon, I'll be like, well, if you see me out, if I don't talk,
Yeah.
it's not because I'm a prick.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't do well with crowds. I can be
Yeah.
in front of them. I've
Yeah.
been doing it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I can be up on a stage acting like a spaz is I can do,
Here.
whatever little thing I do or just sit and like shut my eyes, ignore the fuck out of you and play my thing.
Yeah.
Getting into a crowd is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I like the idea of the acoustic thing maybe to push my boundaries. But again, when we go back this spring to electrical to do stuff, we're gonna like dedicate a day to doing those just quick, rapid fire acoustic things.
Yeah.
Get that as one record, and then do the same songs, but and they're electrified and people playing different parts versions. That's my dream for that
Yeah.
anyway. And then maybe tour the acoustic thing um, to see if that might be a more
Yeah.
um, sustainable way to, because dude, so many people too, back to musicians that we know
Yeah.
losing their fucking asses
Hmm.
right now
Yeah.
because touring is just like it's not gotten any better. It's gotten
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. Well, I am certain that you know somebody in Seattle and somebody in Austin, Texas that have some connections if you want to get some shows out this way and need any help or anything like that.
Turned your video off.
I what?
You turned your video off. There
Oh,
you go.
okay. Wow. That was weird.
I think,
Um,
yeah, I think that would
but
be
uh,
fun.
but yeah, just if you need some, I'm
Roasted
down
baby.
to hook you
Yes.
up with somebody, and I'm sure Joey would be too. Yeah,
I would love that. Yeah, I'm shy about asking people for help on
yeah.
stuff. I
That's
get
what
weird
that's what
about
this is
that.
all about, man. Artists supporting artists. So, that's why you're here. That's why we're here. And
And I appreciate that so much. This is just giving me all sorts of warm, fuzzy feelings. I mean, for real, it is. This is like,
yeah,
it's
no,
really
that's
nice,
fucking awesome. I feel it. I love a genuine conversation. I feel like we're having one. And to that, I have a question that I tend to ask on every fucking episode. It's one of my go-tos. And what is your earliest memory of art having a profound effect on you?
I feel like everything I say sounds kind of cliched. So, um, I my aunt had a piano, and I used to just lay my head on the piano, and then I would like, sorry, my thing is going. I would just kind of start to play little things, and that I think was my first profound kind of um, musical connection with art. I was born in Wichita, Kansas,
Oh, wow.
so um, hu- really large Native American um, contingent
Yeah.
in Wichita, and I think being able and having the opportunity to go to um, powwows and be in that culture when I was younger with one of my best friends, Terry, um, was just like I think that art in every way, like the costumes, the dance, the the drums, the music, you know, all
Yeah.
of all of the art that was, Navajo or Cherokee or whatever
That's wild that you mentioned that.
tribe
Yeah.
would have, was just really, I think, influential on me in a way that I don't think I really got until maybe just now.
Yeah. That's wild.
But I think that Native American, that tie to that, maybe that land
Yeah.
or that idea of that is had a larger impact on me than I think I've ever.
Yeah. Now that you've mentioned it, I do recall at a very early age finding a book on Native American art and craft, and that was deeply resonating with me, and
Yeah,
still is. I just have I mean, it just gave me the really cool nostalgic feeling thinking about the first time I was sitting in a library in elementary school, just looking at this cool thing. Oh, how to clean the feathers and
yeah.
filling
There's
in
so
a
much.
moccasin and stuff. I'm like, wow, that's fucking A, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool like um, opportunity to have as a child, I think, and a young adult.
Excellent. You want to get this one, Joey?
I'll grab the one after.
Okay. Advice for other artists looking to use their gifts for the cause.
Don't shut up. Say your fucking truth, man. I
That's
mean, and don't let them
yeah.
fucking get you down because motherfuckers will.
Yeah,
I
for
mean, they
sure.
just will. It's just like you're never gonna. I mean, I feel again, I told you I wouldn't let you down on me sounded like a dummy when I was talking about this, but
And I told you you would be right at home.
I think that there are so many haters with this stuff, you know, when you get into art of any kind. I think you just have to figure out a way to tune that shit out the best way that you can and press on. That would be my advice. And
Excellent.
to like believe in yourself, which is fucking hard sometimes, especially when people
Hmm.
put that doubt into you,
Yeah,
which they do, and they will never stop. It will be relentless.
yeah. And if you're like me, it's not just coming from other people, it's in my fucking head too. It's like
Yeah, I
my brain
mean,
is an
it is.
asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I am. Yeah, there's this imposter syndrome thing I've heard
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So I mean, just the even the idea that I am on here being interviewed by you guys just is mind blowing to me because why the fuck would you be interested in what I'm doing?
That like I said earlier, it's reciprocal because, who the fuck am I and why the fuck would you even be interested in talking to me? It's a
Yeah, but I
beautiful
mean, this
fucking
stuff
thing.
is so much fun because
Yeah,
it's like, and then I think that like it does give me a glimpse into the parts that like I will discount, like that I'm not, you know, it's really I'm trying to also, with the help of my shrink, find a way to be kinder to myself.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
about
that's a recurring theme with my therapist too. Yeah. Yeah.
so you know, because I'm not that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was the question again?
That just you already answered it. Advice for other artists using their gift
Yeah,
for the cause. Yeah.
don't give up on yourself.
Don't
Just
give
keep
up on
doing it,
yourself.
man.
Yeah.
Even if I mean somebody will get it. You know that fucking cliched thing. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, if you reach one person, you know,
Oh yeah.
it's kind of true, man. It's like that might be that one super fan that like you
Right.
never know. It's like it's but this is all just like such a weird thing that like now as I'm getting older and this immediacy that I have because of so many different things, um, any appreciation, but I mean, just, you know, it's not for want of fame or anything like that. It's for want of solidarity
Yeah.
and to
That
express
connection. Yeah. The solidarity. Yeah.
that there's a connection between all of us that like God, we can't fucking miss, man. We just
Yeah.
can't.
I used to be a peer educator for Project Neon in the Seattle Public Health, which basically meant that I was a methamphetamine user and I educated other methamphetamine users about safer ways to use methamphetamines, more responsible ways. It was a harm reduction thing, trying to take the stigma off of it so that, I was working to reach the highest demographic for AIDS transmission, which are gay men that shoot speed. And though I wasn't a gay man that shot speed, I was definitely a an artist that shot speed and was rather promiscuous. And And I learned over 10 years of doing this that it's about the seeds you plant. People were like, well, so did you help anybody get clean? I'm like, yeah, for sure. And some of them I probably don't even know about, but you plant the seed, you help somebody take the stigma away from what they're doing and understand why they're doing it. And it's not necessarily to get them to stop doing it, but to get them to do it in a more healthy way. And in doing that, changing the whole fucking paradigm of what they're doing so that they start to view themselves in a more positive way, which eventually does lead to desires and to change what you're doing. Now, you may not quit completely, but if you're doing it in a safer way where you're not risking transmitting AIDS or killing yourself through an overdose. Those are fucking positive things. And I saw sometimes 9 years after talking to somebody that they're on a better path. And there were several cases where it just went right downhill and it didn't nothing I said meant anything. It's you put it out there, you let it go and eventually hope it sticks. And that's I don't know, I just got on a tangent there. But
No, I think that's good. I mean, I also like have just a little bit of experience with some intravenous medications,
yeah,
completely different neighborhood than yours.
yeah,
But like that that ability to like that to encourage better,
yeah.
that's just such a huge thing.
It is
I mean,
absolutely.
and
And
to
being able
see
to
that,
talk to somebody without removing their dignity from the equation is also
yeah,
really, really fucking important. And it's not that
yeah,
fucking hard. It really isn't. But it's so I try to use some of those techniques that I learned for that. I try to use them in my regular life too. And I think the last person we were interviewing, I was telling them that they were telling us that they like to make sure that when they go out of their house, they're making somebody smile. And that's one of the
yeah.
big things for me too. I love making people laugh. I really do. And this we're all in this fucking shit hole together, kind of thing. And
True.
we gotta lean on each other. We gotta protect each other and help each other and laugh with each other and cry with each other. It's all part and parcel, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that got too far. I don't think that got far away from the original thing. But what would you know, get people to, I don't know, see that
Yeah.
like, we're all not that much different from
Yeah.
one another.
Yeah. We certainly have a whole lot more in common with each other and with even people on the right side of our politics than we do with the 1%.
Yeah.
So, it's like, let's quit fighting with each other and focus our energy on the people that deserve it. So,
Yeah, I'm with that.
yeah. So, sorry, again, another tangent, but Joey, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. Are there any artists out there that you're currently impressed by?
Oh man, Sanford and I talk about this a lot of the time. I don't I'm in my own little like I've engineered this literal bubble that I am sitting in right now. This is like one room in my multi-room studio that like I don't between this and um, this and the hair. The stuff that I hear on the radio at work. I don't have enough time to sit and really
Yeah.
give it time. So I don't really know what sort of new stuff is out there.
Yeah.
I've turned into that person. I
Yeah.
feel like it's just like I'm, but Sanford and I are like pretty like, well, we don't really listen to a lot of new stuff because we don't have time
Yeah.
and we spend so much time making new stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm bummed out that I'm not hearing more stuff, but I don't think also that there's been anything that's given me the want to go out and be like, oh, I think one thing that am impressed with is Bob Villain.
Yes. Yes.
I am in love with that.
Yeah.
And I dig Kneecap.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Those
Yeah.
are people that are saying some shit and
Yeah.
they're getting fucked with about it,
Yeah.
which is good.
Sleaford mods.
Yeah.
And I last night I went to see one of my favorite fucking bands, the Viagra Boys, which is just
Yeah.
fucking
I think they're going to
intense,
be here soon
wonderful.
and we were talking about that too.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, yeah, there's so much. I think I get into like the weird um like we just went to see like Fu Manchu night before last.
oh wow, yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking awesome.
Oh, I
They're
bet,
just
man.
so fucking good still.
Yeah,
How is that even possible? They're just
right.
these fucking heshers
Yeah.
from fucking California that are fucking talking about hot rods, and it's
Oh
fucking
my
perfect.
God. Yeah.
I
The
mean,
Heshers. Oh my God, I haven't heard that term in a while. That's fucking awesome.
it it was the greatest fucking show. I mean,
Yeah.
so I think, but as far as newer stuff, I don't, I'll hear some of the new stuff, and it's just like I think a lot of the stuff that seems to hit. Um, doesn't sound that different than a lot of the other stuff. And like that's where things become kind of difficult, I feel like, because I feel like if it sounds different, people don't like it.
Yeah.
And
May
it
I ask
doesn't
a
get
question and
airplay
make a
because there's so
suggestion?
much stuff. Excuse me?
May I ask a question and make a suggestion?
Please.
When you're at your salon, what radio station are you listening to?
We're a small place, so we can still do Spotify, which I don't like, but
I'm going to make a suggestion. KEXP.
okay.
Turn that
Yeah,
on.
I've seen some stuff. Oh, because there are some things, glass bells.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. I have them on in my car all the time. They're my go-to station. I'm an amplifier for it. Support radio powered, listener powered radio people.
But
KEXP is
that's
one of the
another.
pioneers of it. But yeah, on the way home after the show last night, they were doing a wonderful hip hop set. And just about the time I was pulling into my driveway, we were getting into the Blues Scholars, one of the premier Seattle hip hop acts. I mean, they're just absolutely fucking incredible. And so the whole ride home, I was just in heaven listening to this is
Another band that I
yeah,
like, back to the original question, and I do know about KEXP,
yeah,
right? KEXP?
yep, yep,
And, but Glass Beams,
yeah, yeah,
they're fucking rad.
yeah.
And there are some new ones that like, but is it just me or am I missing like, is there a bunch of great stuff and I'm missing now? I feel like I sound
No,
like the
it's
old
just
guy.
everything great that I have come across my plate is typically coming from KEXP.
Right.
What's her name? Kate Tempest, I found through them. Pinback, I found through them.
Oh, I love
Uh,
Pinback. I worked on a
Fucking love
record
them
with
too.
Chris Poulin, who
No
does.
fucking way. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
it was an old project that I have that I still want to mix called Baby is Band-Aid,
Oh my God. Yeah,
with
they
Tim
are
Schroeder.
absolutely fucking incredible. They're tapes and tapes.
Mm.
Actually, I didn't hear them through KXP, but the first time I saw them was from a private show or an intimate VIP
Well,
show with KEXP.
yeah,
Um,
they were a 3 Mile Pilot. Well, then those
yeah,
like all that kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, so that's why I keep them on because I will typically hear something that I'm able to really tune into, and yeah, so that's a good thing for me. I don't really do Spotify. I buy because I am absolutely insane. I will buy vinyl and CD formats, and then I will just record the CDs into my computer so I can put them on my phone, and that's how I do my streaming playlist. Is typically it's stuff that I've got through there, and my Bandcamp stuff is always I've always got a digital file through there too.
Yeah. In my defense, I feel like I have to say this. I'm not the only owner of the hair salon, so I do
No,
not
fair
have
enough. Fair
all
enough. No,
control on what
yeah,
comes
I
out
don't
of
like
what.
Spotify myself, but I do appreciate
Yeah, I
its
can't.
spot in the world. I mean, it does introduce people to new music, and as
Yeah.
long as those people are going out there and supporting the physical media as well, that's a fucking beautiful thing, man. You gotta be heard somewhere, and that place has a massive fucking footprint. It really
Yeah,
does.
it's interesting. Back to the chatter though, and back to I think Joey, why I'm not like listening to much new stuff is because there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's still, I'm reluctant to say this, but I think I don't think it's any different than it was in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. I think there's just more of it. And I think the
Yeah.
big companies still figured out their way to worm into it. I know for a fact that that is happening.
Yeah.
Now they're just going to have bigger margins and the artist will continue to get less.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately. So that's one of the reasons I like things like Bandcamp. I like putting my money
Yeah, I
where
like
the
Bandcamp
artist's
too.
hands. Yeah. So, Billy, is there anything else you'd like to talk about or promote today?
All
Okay.
my fellow musicians and like, I mean, fellow artists in this world and, just people continuing to support each other and trying to like make it through all of the stuff that we all know is going on right now. I mean, there's some heavy stuff going on, so
There is, yeah.
I think that we can't shut up about it and that we need to
Yeah.
continue speaking out about it. Go to the marches, go to the protests. We have a bunch in Chicago. We've got No Kings coming up. We've got anti-ICE protests going on. Um, be visible
Yeah.
and those things, talk about them, share information. A
Yeah.
lot of what's going on is not right, and we
Yeah.
need to be talking about this.
We really,
More
really
people
fucking
need to be
do.
talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what I would say. Get the fuck involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to with what I'm doing. I'm trying to write, and I'm talking to people about playing things for protest or adjacent to them or around them or within them. Do
Yeah.
that. I mean, I would encourage people to do those things when they can, and just
Yeah.
show that solidarity with the group of people who do give a shit about other humans and
Yeah.
not the ones that don't.
Yeah. No, for sure. Reverend Billy, it has been an absolute fucking pleasure and an honor to speak with you today. Thank you so much for
Ditto.
being here, man.
Thank you
Um,
guys. I think it's
yeah.
awesome.
Kiddos, get your asses over to Bandcamp. Check out Evidence of a Struggle. Show this project some love. You will not be disappointed.
Thank you
Now,
so much.
Geishas and Gremlins, this episode is dedicated to our dear friend Jason Lupo and his family. Please be good to each other out there. We are in very dark times. People, we need to have each other's back. Please try to remember we have more in common than we would be led to believe. Try to filter out the static and keep your critical thinking caps on. We will weather this storm, I promise you that. Take a deep breath. Focus on the little moments of beauty all around us. Even the gutter will glimmer if you with color if you give it the chance. And be the glimmer. Be the glimmer. We love you. Love, hugs, and belly rubs, everyone. Cheers.